if you thought about John Lennon, you think Liverpool. Maybe if you're a real Beatles fan, you think about Hamburg, and then you think about New York.
I was dreaming of the past, and my heart was beating fast.
You know, there was a part of me that realized, while John's story had been told quite extensively and well in nonfiction and in the book world, that I hadn't thought that up to this point people had taken like a lens to John's solo years and tried to encapsulate the whole thing in one narrative. You know, New York City was the right lens to do that, because if you looked at John just as a politician, the rock and roll part fell away. If you looked at John just as a rock and roller, then the sort of private, domestic side kind of fell away. But New York City was a kind of filmmaking lens that you could apply to John's life, that you could look at it through that prism, and it encapsulated everything, and everything came into focus in just the right way.
He projected himself, he projected his guts. And the way he played his guitar, same thing.
You know, John is a very typical New Yorker, that he came from some other place seeking a kind of refuge. And in this instance, I think that was, you know, a kind of personal freedom that England would never afford him. He didn't have to be Beatle John anymore. And he and Yoko could really, you know, be free. They could be in love and not suffer the kind of public scorn that they did in England. I think for a lot of New Yorkers, John's story is our story. You know, the coming to New York to achieve something that you couldn't achieve at home, to be somebody that you couldn't achieve. Not that we're Gatsby, Don Draper-like figures where we're sort of escaping a past, but you know, you can shed your past a little bit and start over here. And I think that was some measure of John's story, and I think that's some measure the New York story, whether that you're a recent immigrant from the Dominican Republic or a transplant from Chicago like myself. You know, that's what we share.